Hey, what's going on, guys? Welcome to day 86 of me journaling my journey to becoming profitable and the best version of myself. Today is Friday, May 29, 2026, and this is me going over me trading New York session today and how I ended up getting stopped out. I feel like there was a big mistake I made today that I just have to tweak. Um, but overall, I think I took a good trade today, and a loss is a loss, and I'm happy with the way I handled it. And I realized that what's really important is what you do after the loss than actually in the trade. But anyways, let's just go over what we ended up doing today. How the market moved honestly today. I feel like there was some I did not like the price action, but there was a trade that I was patient for. So going into market open, as you guys can see, we literally opened up and we flew up 200 points off of market open, which is genuinely insane. Like this entire move, I mean, it was like literally like the clearest uptrend ever. Like to a beginner trader that first day on the charts and he's looking at this just like this is what they're taught. Literally like higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Like it's just the clearest uptrend. Like if you click on the line chart, like it's just super clear uptrend. But unfortunately, there wasn't a setup for me to be able to enter these longs. And I did not want to FOMO into these longs. I just knew that price was going to keep on going higher, but I just did not FOMO into any longs that were not my setup. I was trying to be patient for what I was looking for. And for me to be able to take a long, we needed to retrace. We needed to have some sort of retracement. So the retracement that I ended up taking my trade off of was we had these two bullish fair value gaps, right? And what I liked about my trade was that I waited for us to trade into the second fair value gap before taking the longs because we entered into this fair value gap. But um but yeah, I just waited for us to we traded into both fair value gaps before I ended up taking my trade. So going so after we traded into these two fair value gaps, after we got our retracement, I was looking for some sort of inversion, and we had this clean bullish fair value gap right here for me to enter my trade off of. We ended up inversing this fair value gap, and I ended up taking my trade right here for 101 risk to reward, and I ended up getting stopped out. And I feel like the reason that I ended up getting stopped out was what I ended up doing was I checked the 2 minute. I seen we didn't have any for value gaps in a way. I checked the 5 minute. I seen we didn't have any for value gaps in a way. But what I didn't notice was that we actually had a 3 minute bearish for value gap. And with this strategy, you should always take the inversion on the highest time frame up to the 5 minute chart. And I ended up taking the trade on the 1 minute because I had seen the inversion, but I didn't notice that we also had a 3 minute. And as you guys can see on the 3 minute chart, we did not inverse this bearish for value gap. And I think that was the reason that price ended up going lower, and I did not end up getting the trade to work out. But I just really liked the way it looked because we entered this fair value gap and we started getting really strong legs up. It was like a bullish candle up until here, and I ended up entering my trade. I thought we would take out the highs that we had left and even go up higher to get my 101 risk to reward. But unfortunately, we didn't do that. I think we came into this 3 minute bearish for value gap, we didn't inverse it, and that's the reason I ended up getting stopped out. But you know, this is the second trade in a row that we ended up losing, which is unfortunate. We are down on the week. We are down on the account. We're down around $400 on the account. But again, after this loss, I was on the charts for a little bit longer, and there was a thought in my head that was telling me like you could like easily like I don't know why. Like I know why. It's from the long time of being undisciplined and you know revenge trading and all that and over risking and stuff. There was a thought in my head that was telling me you could just take another trade and you just make your money back and you will be good for next week and it's like today never happened. But that's the way an unprofitable trader thinks. And even profitable traders, they also think that way. They have that thought in the back of their head. But the difference between a profitable day trader and an unprofitable day trader is how they act on their thoughts. So, I had that thought in my head, but thankfully, I have acted on that thought so many times, and I ended up blowing so many accounts because of that thought in the back of my mind, and I ended up losing so much more money than I should have because of that thought in the back of my head. And through that trial, and I had making those mistakes in order for me to be in this position, to be the person that knows, no, just take the one trade and got off the charts and, just follow your rules. I feel like today I did a really good job with staying patient. I didn't FOMO into the longs. I stayed patient. I seen my setup, and I didn't overtrade and revenge trade after taking my loss. It's just the only thing that I probably could have done better was wait for that 3 minute inverse fair value gap. But unfortunately, I just didn't notice it. I guess I should just be more attentive and pay more attention, which is, I don't know, it's crazy. I feel like I was so locked in. I don't know how I missed that. I guess it was just because of how strong a reaction we were having, and then I had just seen that we were inversing this fair value gap, and I just felt like I should have taken a trade, but unfortunately, we did have that 3 minute bears fair value gap that I should have taken into account. But even after that, pretty sure there was another clean trade to take. Where was it? There was oh yeah, right here. After we had come down into this the final 5 minute gap, like we didn't have any more gaps up until all the way down here, but after we had come down into this 5 minute bullish gap, we were getting strong legs up, as you guys can see, and there was this clean inverse fair value gap that I would have taken if it wasn't for the trade that I took in earlier. Would have went long. It's a pretty big stop. Probably would have put it on the bottom of this wick, and I would have gotten my one. Oh, I wouldn't even have gotten my 1-1 risk reward. Yeah, this trade probably wouldn't have worked out. I probably would have put my stops here, honestly, and probably would have targeted this unfilled 5 minute gap. But yeah, bad risk reward. If I would have put my stop loss here at this wick, yeah, nah, from here I would have got my 1-1 risk reward. Barely. Probably something like this. But yeah, that's the trade I ended up taking today. Unfortunately, it didn't end up working out. We are down around $400 across my 3 accounts, and we are able to. How much drawdown do we have left? Let me do the math. But I think next week will be. Hopefully, next week is good, and we get out of drawdown, and start making money on these accounts to get a nice payout. So currently we are 49,607 minus 48,174. We have $1,433 left of drawdown, which is a decent amount. We should be good. Nothing to worry about. And for us to be completely out of drawdown, we would have to make $567, which is very doable. It's like 2 trades of like $250, 1 trade of like $300, and $250. Like around my risk, I should be good, and we should be back. But as long as I follow good risk management, as long as I follow my rules, we should be all right. And it's actually coming to the end of the month. I'll make my recap on Sunday. But overall, I think this month has been pretty successful. Uh, Let me see. Was it this month that we got the 1.5K payout? Oh my god. Okay, never mind. But yeah, I feel like this month was pretty successful. I'm pretty sure. Actually, I have the certificate. Yeah, 511. It was this month. We got a 1.5K payout. We got 3 funded accounts to copy trade, and we just feel like we learned a lot this month. We really progressed a lot as traders, well, or me personally as a trader, become more disciplined. I feel like I'm acting more like a profitable day trader, and I'm just not worried about losses as much because I know I have a winning system, and as long as I stick to it, we'll be all right. But it's just you'll have days like this. It's just a part of the statistic, and we'll be back. We'll be back next week, and it's gonna be start of the new month. And let's hope. What is it? January, February, March, April, May. Hopefully June is very successful. We stick to our rules, and we do not have a single crash out day. We had one bad day that ended up costing us a lot of progress, but hopefully June is a lot better, and we stick to the plan. But anyways, that's how day 86 ended up going, and hopefully you guys had a good week. Hopefully you guys hit TP today, and hopefully you guys are sticking to your rules and staying disciplined. But anyways, I'll catch you guys on Sunday for the monthly recap, and on Monday, back on the charts.